Have you ever noticed how the most powerful person in a room often isn't the loudest? Well, today we're going to dive deep into the psychology of what I call silent authority. It's all about how you can command attention and respect without ever having to raise your voice. Okay, let's just start with the feeling I think we've all had at some point. You walk into a room, could be a meeting, a party, whatever, and you just feel invisible. It is so frustrating, right? You've got amazing ideas, you know what you're talking about, but you just can't seem to break through all the noise. So a super common mistake is thinking, okay, I just need to be louder. But here's the thing, there is a huge difference between shouting to be heard and speaking to be listened to. One is just a strategy of volume. It's kind of desperate, really. The other, it's a strategy of presence. It's confident, and it naturally makes people want to lean in and listen.
And that right there brings us to the core of this whole thing, the power of presence. This has nothing to do with how loud you are. It's all about your impact. It's about your presence being felt in a room before you even say a single word.
Think about a giant, ancient oak tree. It doesn't need to yell to let you know it's there. Its presence is just undeniable. True authority is a lot like that. It's quiet, it's calm, it's centered. It's a kind of confidence that just radiates out from you, and people are naturally drawn to it. That is the essence of what we're talking about with silent authority. So what exactly is this silent authority thing? Let's actually break it down. How do you command respect without having to be the loudest one in the room, without any aggression? Okay, here's the definition. Silent authority is your ability to influence a room using things like controlled body language, speaking with intention, and having a really solid sense of your own self-worth. It's not about being loud. The key words here are controlled and intentional. It's about being focused and precise, which is the total opposite of that loud, reactive behavior we're trying to leave behind. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's this fantastic paradox. We think power means talking more, but real influence, that often comes from making every single word count. I mean, think about it. When that quiet, composed person in a meeting finally decides to speak up, everybody stops what they're doing and they listen. So how do we actually build the skill? Well, it all starts inside. Before you can project authority on the outside, you have to genuinely feel it on the inside. We call this the inner game. And mastering your own mindset, that is absolutely step one. We're going to break this down into 4 foundational behaviors. If you can master these, you'll build this unshakable core of quiet confidence from the inside out. First up, cultivate stillness. You know how anxious energy just leaks out? All that fidgeting, tapping your foot, shifting around? By practicing physical stillness, you stop broadcasting nervousness and you start projecting this powerful sense of calm and control. And second, you have to believe you have a right to be there. You need to internalize your value, your expertise. That's how you finally kick imposter syndrome to the curb. And here are the next 2 pieces of the inner puzzle. We've got to master that internal monologue. That little voice in your head. When it starts saying, oh no, you're going to mess this up, you have to actively replace it with, I am prepared and I am capable. And then we have to learn to embrace silence. This is huge. Most people feel like they have to fill every single second with noise. Don't. Start seeing those pauses not as awkward, but as a powerful tool. Okay, so once you've started working on that solid internal foundation, it is time to start projecting it outward. Let's move on to the outer game. These are the external signals that show everybody else the confidence you've been building. And just like the inner game, we've got 4 powerful external behaviors that are going to project that confidence and make it visible to absolutely everyone. First thing, control your space. Stop shrinking. Use open, confident posture. Take up the space you deserve. It's about deliberate, confident movement. And then, when you speak, do it with intention. Get rid of the filler words, the ums, the ahs, the likes. Slow down. A measured, deliberate pace signals to everyone that what you're saying is actually worth waiting for. You see, speaking with intention isn't just about the words you choose, it's also about the space you leave between them. We just talked about embracing silence on the inside, now we're going to use it on the outside. Seriously, the pause is one of the most powerful and most underutilized tools in your entire communication arsenal. So, here's how you do it. Pause for a second before you answer a question. It makes you look thoughtful, not just reactive. Pause right after you make a really important point. It gives the idea weight, it lets it sink in. And finally, maintain steady, comfortable eye contact. It's just a direct signal that you are engaged, you're confident, and you are not intimidated. All right, we've covered a ton of ground, from the inner mindset to the outer actions. So now let's pull it all together into a simple, actionable toolkit that you can start using, like, today.
And here it is, your complete toolkit, your cheat sheet. On the one side, you've got the inner game, all the mindset work. On the other, the outer game, the actions that project that mindset. And you can see how they're all connected, right? Cultivating that inner stillness lets you control your space on the outside. And embracing silence internally, that empowers you to use those strategic pauses to make a real impact. It is a complete system for developing your silent authority.
But look, this isn't just theory. It's a practical skill you can build. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Think about your week ahead. Is there a big team meeting, a family dinner, maybe a difficult conversation you need to have? What is the one room, the one situation where you are going to consciously practice these techniques and start to master your silent authority?